phaz.com/jobs.
The NASCAR season will come to an end in Phoenix, but the championship weekend will last forever. 4 championship races in 3 days, all set against the stunning backdrop of the desert mountains. A Friday doubleheader under the lights, the Xfinity Championship on Saturday, and a Cup Series champion crowned on Sunday. It's a weekend you'll wish would never end. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, November 3rd through the 5th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart Plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
Greg Clark Automotive Specialist, located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles for 44 years. And we're offering our fall inspection on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Also, our brake service inspection, recommended every year to prevent repairs and ensure top performance. For guaranteed family touch service, contact us at 602-246-2881. Highly rated by Google. Online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention the Fanatic to get 10% off.
We all know driving hammered gets you nailed, but did you also know driving high is a DUI? I'm Officer Badalucco with the Gilbert Police Department. Anything that impairs your driving makes you dangerous on the road. If you feel different, you drive different, and driving high is illegal. Be smart with marijuana use. Get the facts at drivinghighaz.com and spread the word with hashtag HighDUI. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Will Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or
this is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
KQFN AM Tempe, K257 CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM, K240 EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Listen to the Daily Blender, weekday afternoons 3 to 6 on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Monday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And no, Jag Dog, I can't tell you. He says, please tell me Ralphie is in the studio today. Ha, Dodgers suck it. Los Dodgers suck it. Ralph, suck it. That's what Jag Dog has to say. And
wow,
I'll tell you what, I'm very excited. I'm very excited, Randy. This means that after we won that game, did we just win the game? We just destroyed the Dodgers in that game.
We did dominate, yes.
Holy crap. That means we get to play Fish Tank's other new song today.
Oh, we get to play the other one?
Well, yeah. Doesn't it count? They won.
I don't like it on a game day.
Oh.
I don't like it on a game day.
Yeah, but we won. We can't play this for what happened on
I'll go ahead and play it. No, but I just want you to know.
No. I don't want to be responsible for jinxing.
I stand in opposition of playing it before tonight.
Oh, that's, okay, forget it. Don't do it. Don't do it. We'll play it the day after the next win. I just got excited. You're right. We don't want to jinx nothing. Don't want to jinx anything.
Yeah, I'm not one of those guys who goes, strutting around, my chest all puffed out, my diamond encrusted watch after barely winning against a team, and they go to the student section and do this business here I don't. I'm not one of those guys.
You're not a Sanders kid.
Well, I didn't say anything about Shadir Sanders.
Well,
I didn't say a damn
exactly just said that about Shadir Sanders.
Did he do that? See,
He
that's
did. He did. He went right to the student section and started trying to flex.
He was smiling with my watch on. I don't do that. You know, if Ralph was in here, I wouldn't go all smiling and flashing my diamond encrusted watch at Ralph. You know what? Because I understand the Dodgers are a damn good team, and they don't need any bulletin board material.
But can I just say, okay, so 9 runs up on these guys before they even get anybody on base. Somebody gets a double, and he starts doing this. He starts dancing out there at second base. You're down 9-0. The hell are you doing?
I mean, I think you know the way I feel about it. It's just, you know what? Jackass, you got on second base, act like you've been there before. When you take the lead, do your boogie dance, but not until then.
This is the kind of stuff I was talking about last week, you know, celebrating. It's third down. Yeah. You probably celebrate when it's first down, not when it's third. And you're on base. Congratulations for doing the bare minimum of your job when you're supposed to be batting and getting paid millions of dollars for it. Well done. But maybe not the little dance, not until maybe you put a few scores on the board there.
That's, I've said it before. I think everybody in the fourth dimension knows where I stand, and I'm not that guy. Get off my grass on this one. I'm the guy that, you know what? You got nothing to celebrate, Jack. Just go ahead and peek out there at the scoreboard and tell me where you're at.
Yeah, it's 2 things that bothers me. One, when people are dancing and strutting when there's a big old goose egg under their team name on the scoreboard. And 2, let me just say this to everybody out there right now, because I'm tired of it. If you don't actually look like Barbie, get the bleep out of that box. Stop having your picture taken in the Barbie box if you look the way you look and you don't look like Barbie. You know what I'm talking about.
I do. I just didn't realize you had such strong opinions about it.
Keon, did you get your picture taken in the Barbie box?
No, I just don't care.
Wait. Keon can get his picture taken in the Barbie box. I mean, I can get my picture taken in the Barbie box. Randy, you can get your picture taken in the Barbie box. Not everybody can get their picture taken in the Barbie box. And if you don't look like somebody who belongs in the Barbie box, get out of the Barbie box. That's all I'm saying. Those two things. The
way Keon was answering, I thought maybe, he posted a picture of him in the Barbie box, and that's what you were referring to.
No, why do you think I'm like lashing out at Keon here? I would tell him he's a pal. I would tell him off air. I'd be like, "What's up with you in the Barbie box, man? What's that all about?
I look glamorous. What are you talking about?"
Only people who should be in the Barbie box are people who look good enough to be in the Barbie box or are so far on the other end of the spectrum, it's funny. You know, outside of that, get your middle-aged dumpy asses out of the Barbie box. You don't belong in the Barbie box. You don't belong.
The only person that belongs in Barbie's box is Ken.
You got me off guard with that one.
Did I?
Well done. You LOL'd
right?
me. Yes.
Is that
Nicely
correct?
done.
Okay.
Yes. Very good.
Thank you.
Anyways, listen, we have a short show today. And I don't know if we're going to get through all the football games that happened yesterday. We're certainly going to try. Coming up at 4:30, we got the Packers at the Raiders. Okay. I'm sure there's some fantasy football implications about that, but I do want to warn you guys right here, right now, in case you don't know, if you're driving, whatever, Davante Adams will play tonight. That is probably good news for some people, but bad news for some people. Aaron Jones will not play tonight. So there are some screams that went in both directions. If you have just found this out, that Davante Adams will play tonight, Aaron Jones will not.
Wow.
That's it. We get the Davante Adams revenge game, though.
A little bit. It's not the same, though.
It
isn't
isn't
the same, you know?
It isn't, if especially if Rodgers isn't there. It just feels a little bit different, but it does feel like the Packers just kind of made a clean break from everybody and they're moving in a different direction. And Davante Adams can just remind them,
Well, I'm sure he will. And hopefully that does well for some of your fantasy football teams. As far as Aaron Jones goes, I hope you kind of saw this coming with Aaron Jones. He was out 2 games with a hamstring injury. You already knew he was sort of hurting, so you probably played somebody else anyway. But that sucks. if you didn't. So anyway, so I just want to let you guys know that. I guess we'll just talk more about the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers and stuff tomorrow. But tonight at 6:00, I'll be honest with you. I think I might be watching the Diamondbacks tonight because Packers, Raiders. Who cares?
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Right.
I mean,
do you care about the Packers and Raiders? I've already won my fantasy football game, unless a kicker gets 30 points.
I don't. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to air it.
Of course, I'll be listening on 1580 The Fan.
Of course. Anyway, so we'll talk about the Diamondbacks and everything. I do want to take one moment and just say to the team president of the Diamondbacks, the hell, man, what the actual bleep? You had it right. You had it right for 6 years, and now this is bullcrap. So the Diamondbacks team president, Derek Hall, he came out and said, yeah, I know we've been putting security on the pool and we've not allowed anybody to mess the pool. But he says, if the Dodgers want to go for a swim, if they win this thing, they can go for a swim. What? No. What? Don't let them swim. Yet they tweaked in our pool back in 2017. And now you want to let them jump in again if they win? No. What the hell, Derek Hall? Why is he allowing that? You should not allow anybody to ever desecrate your facility, your pool. Right. You know what I'm saying? Did they buy a ticket? If they bought a ticket, then they can get in the pool, because in that thing you have to have a ticket to get in the pool, right? You gotta you buy your.
You gotta have a special ticket to get in the pool. Yeah.
If you don't have the special ticket, you don't get in the damn pool.
Right.
Shouldn't be in there.
Right.
And so now he came out. I don't know why, but he right before the game on Friday, or Saturday, I don't know, whatever. On Friday, he came out and said, in the past, the Diamondbacks have been like, that's very disrespectful that they've been in our pool. They did everything they could to keep everybody out of the pool. Yeah. Now he's just like saying, okay, that's fine, that's cool. What the hell, Derek Hall? Why? Why?
I can't think of a good reason, to be honest.
Am I alone here in this?
No, you're not.
No.
That's just I'm just kind of stunned.
Derek Hall, are you a Dodgers fan? What the bleep, man? Say no. I want to see a row of police officers. Every inch of the deck of the pool should be covered by people to keep Dodgers out of that damn pool.
Here's the thing. When the team president comes out and he makes a statement like this, what does that tell about his confidence in his ball club winning this series?
Who knows? You hope it means he's very confident they'll win, because he's like, go ahead, swim. There's no way you're going to get in there.
No, that's not what he said. He said if they win this series, they could jump in our pool. So if I'm Derek Hall, I'm like, hell no, they're not going in our pool, because they're not going to win this series. That's the way I'm saying it.
Yeah, and they admitted to doing dirty things in the pool when they jumped in 2017.
There's no way the Dodgers or any other visiting team is allowed in our pool. That will not be tolerated.
I don't care what Derek Hall says. I hope somebody else steps up and keeps anybody from getting in that pool.
Well, I hope there's no need for it. I hope the Diamondbacks
that would
win tonight, and then they win the next game here at the Bank One Ballpark, and just end this thing.
I'm not even just the Dodgers. I'm talking about, let's say we go into the next and then we get taken out there, or World Series, whatever. Empty nobody should be allowed in the pool.
I agree. I concur.
I hope it's not just me feeling this way.
No, it's not. It just seems like an odd thing for a team president to say, because like Randy said, you have to have the confidence that no one's even going to win enough to get in the pool. But even if they did, that's just, it's like if somebody else goes to Green Bay and does the Lambeau leap. It is just you don't. The fans don't allow that. They shove you out. You just can't.
Hefty Lefty says he's a genius. It's bulletin board material for his own team. You shouldn't need no. I'm actually gonna go full Big George. Fire Derek Hall. Fire him right now for this.
Yep.
Fire Derek Hall.
Yep. Hashtag fire Derek Hall.
Jesus. Hefty Lefty also says, what I tell myself during every Bronco defeat that somehow gets worse, Super Bowl 50 was worth it. Super Bowl 50 was worth it. Super Bowl 50 was worth it. Yeah, sorry, Hefty Lefty. We'll get to your game. We will get to your game.
know,
We're going to try to get to all the games.
I don't want to hear any crying from anybody unless you're a Cardinals fan. Hey, the rest of you blokes out there, even the Saints have a Super Bowl championship. Okay, the damn Saints have a Super Bowl championship. Okay,
I don't want to hear about that one personally.
Well, I'm just telling you, I don't want to.
I know, but why you have to say Saints?
You know,
Is that because their last one was at my expense?
I mean, the bottom line is, how many teams out there don't have a Super Bowl victory? Atlanta, the San Diego / LA / Orange County Chargers. Who else doesn't?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't want to hear any. Hefty Lefty, I usually am okay with your texts, but that's just Super Bowl 50 was worth it. Give me a break.
Well, it's just that
stay over there in your lane, Jack.
They
That's
know
all
what
I have to
they
say.
sacrificed for that Super Bowl, and it kind of set them back years. But the Super Bowl itself,
Sacrifice. They had Peyton Manning, and he got him there, and then he got hurt down the stretch, and then he came back and played in the damn Super Bowl.
yeah. But just ever since then, they've been sort of trying to sort out all the cap stuff from that Super Bowl.
Yeah. And what have the Cardinals done during that time?
We don't have to talk about it.
Hey, did I mention that the Diamondbacks should fire Derek Hall? Did I mention that earlier? I just want to make sure that got said out loud.
For his
okay.
very questionable comment. Yes.
Yeah. And so hopefully nobody gets in our pool, but also hopefully our security is as good as the security was at the Orioles game. Did you see that little guy? Oh my God. He was just he's like 3 feet tall. This little guy here. I'll show you the picture. This guy right here in a Virginity Rock Speedo jumped out of the stands and tried to go streaking across the field. Did not make it far. A security guy put the lumber on him. Just wham!
Hang on a minute. Hold that. Is that Phil?
Wait
That's
a
a Speedo, right? Is that Phil?
It is a Speedo, but it's not Phil. Phil is taller than that. But it says Virginity Rocks on his Speedo.
Wow.
And he jumps out of the stands. Immediately, this dude just wham, takes him down. Then they carry him, they hammock him, they pick him up, and they take him over to the cops. Then the cops put him in handcuffs. And instead of walking out by the the bullpen, they walked him all the way through the field, just like a walk of shame to the front over by home plate to take him out. So hopefully this doesn't happen during a Diamondbacks game. Woof. That guy right there. It's like, I'm glad you think Virginity rocks, because get used to the idea. Because if
the officer on the left there, he didn't do much chasing in this chase.
No. That fella walked over.
Yeah.
The other two guys, actually, the security guards did all the work. These guys just walked over and put the cuffs on him.
Yeah. Because that guy on the left, I don't know what his time would be in the 40.
Isn't that Mike McCarthy's brother?
I don't know. Did you guys see what I posted on my Twitter today of Mike McCarthy and his secret game plan against San Francisco? That was funny.
You should go find that. It's Radio Randy 777 on the Twitterverse.
Yeah.
So also, I'm guessing that cop's 40 time is eventually.
Yeah. Just maybe before dark. Just don't wait up is his 40 time. Let's get to the text line here before we get too far behind. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Keon, but Boomer Sooners, for some reason, here right away to say, good day, Blender Nation and Sooners rock. Nice game, Keon. Wow, the defense kicked ass. I will be in touch today about collecting my bet. I am TJ inking you buy pizza. I think it means thinking. When we're all in studio, including Ralph, I can stop by and have a slice with you. Wait. Who owes who? I thought
I owe Boomer Sooner.
Yeah. I mean, he signs it. This is how hyped he is. Boomer effing Sooner.
He should feel that way. I thought that the Sooners had an incredible game plan coming out into that game, and hats off to them. They played a fantastic game. Brent Venables is a defensive, brilliantly defensive coach, and the last year we didn't really see that from the defense, but he's got a lot of his guys in there now, players who can execute his system, and you know what? They kicked ass.
Heavy Metal Maniac says, how about them Diamondbacks? What a win. What a statement. Kick some butt. Clayton Kershaw did not know it hit him. Good thing the game ended when it did, because we might still be scoring runs. He's like, let's go Diamondbacks. Ha ha, Ralph, your Dodgers sucked. Kiss the Cook says Clustemer. Sorry, what? Wait, Clustemer? I don't. Oh, yeah, that commercial. That's kind of a weird commercial. You seen that one where everybody's all stuck together and they roll in the door?
Oh, I haven't seen it with sound,
Clustemer.
but I have seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. I always mute the commercials too on Hulu.
Yeah, me too.
Blissful Hayes says, where's the Blender listening party today to watch the Dimebags play the Dodgers? Your house, Blissful Hayes. Breaking news says Donnie. Randy, pour me a drink. Wife and I are having a baby boy. Hey.
Oh, congratulations. All right.
I saw that on Twitter, and of course, my response was, hey, there'll finally be a masculine presence at Donnie's house. Isn't that nice?
Oh, boy.
He says, first round quarterback in 2045. Here we come.
All right.
There you go.
Way to
And
go.
hopefully
Yeah.
gets drafted to a better team than the Vikings, though.
Skull, Donnie. Skull.
Mr. Pringle says, I've stumbled upon a gambling strategy that has really been paying off for me the last 3 weeks. I would like to share it with the fourth dimension so they can make money. Simply listen to the Daily Blender closely, and anytime Keon picks a team, bet the other. Oh,
But that's not true.
he says he wants to fade you, bet the opposite.
But okay.
Yeah, it's not really true.
I just if you want to do that, I don't know how much money you're going to actually make.
Bruno Baller says the Lions and the Browns also do not have a Super Bowl victory. There you go. Lions, Browns, and Cardinals.
and Falcons. So it's 4 teams. And then we got people with Super Bowl championships texting into this show feeling bad for their season.
I can't even read what Hefty Lefty said about the streaker. Sheriff Tom says, right now, I am forming a posse to protect the pool from possible but unlikely pollution from Dodgers. Who's
There
in
we
it
go.
with me? All we
I'm
need
there.
is just 1580 the Fanatic to pick up the tab for our tickets.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, Ron said no.
It's not happening.
Yeah, that's a no
It's a
on that.
great idea, Sheriff Tom.
Yeah.
Lacrosse guy says I was 5-8 in the pick'em. That's really bad. He says. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever been that bad, but I've been close, if not that bad. I think I had a better week this week. I haven't looked at it yet. Cabana says, Drain. I have no idea. He says don't read it on air. Okay, I'll come back and look at it. Blissful Hayes says, "Where's the Blender listening party today?" He already said that. Anthony Richardson has brittle bones. Good thing Gardner Minshew saved the day again. Yes, Blissful Hayes. Listen, we're going to talk about all the teams when we come back. So let's get right to it. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
Game 2 of the National League Divisional Series in Los Angeles. The Dodgers hosting the Diamondbacks. Arizona taking Game 1 as they shelled the Dodgers 11-2. Zach Gallen getting the start for the Diamondbacks tonight. Bobby Miller will go for the Dodgers. Arizona trying to take a 2-0 series lead back to Phoenix for Game 3 on Wednesday night. Arizona plus a 1.5 this evening, minus 154. The Dodgers minus a 1.5, plus 128. On the money line, the Diamondbacks plus 132. Los Angeles minus 156. The over-under at Dodger Stadium is at 8. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Are you ready for the NFL season? Are you ready to win $1,580 in cold hard cash? Sign up today for the Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. Get over to 1580thefanatic.com and sign up today. Someone needs to win this $1,580 first prize. Why not you? Finish in second place. Cha-ching! You win $500. The Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. Sign up today at 1580thefanatic.com.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Slusman says, I have to correct you guys. There are 4 teams that have never made it to the Super Bowl: Cleveland, Detroit, Jacksonville, and Houston. Cardinals are among the teams that have made it, but not one. Oh, okay. So Cleveland, Detroit, Jacksonville, and Texans have never even made it to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Gotcha,
Right, so there you go.
Slusman.
Thank you,
Mr.
Slusman.
Pringle, I'm going to get to what you have to say when we get to that game. But right now, Randy, let's talk about what happened. Let's talk about the Cardinals going down to the Bengals 34-20. I'll let you go ahead and share your thoughts on that first.
Well, I think the Cardinals were in the game mostly. I think they had a good showing, but again, late in the game, the defense. We've got to get more offensive production, and we've got to keep the defense on the sideline for a bit longer. But I'm not. I'm sad that we lost by such a small margin. Every game it seems like this year we lose by like 1 or 2 points, and we're in the game every game. So this weekend was no different. We lost by the heartbreaker, that last second field goal. But we're moving on. On to the next game. Yeah, that last second field goal killed us.
34-20. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know it was 34-33. I know
There's no 14-point field goal, Randy.
Yeah. Oh, well, on to the next game.
So a couple of things. Dobbs, I've said this all along, and I hope please take this in the best of ways. He's a very nice backup quarterback. He's a guy I feel like you could trust with the team while you're waiting for your starter to come back.
Right.
I don't think he's a starter for life.
I don't think
this is a guy who should be
anybody
started.
said that. No, I don't think anybody said that.
Well, the point is, neither is Kyler Murray. So I really hope you guys really are moving on from Kyler Murray and get a much better quarterback in there.
Look, I'm just concerned about the next week.
Who are you playing next week?
I don't know, but I'm concerned about it.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, we'll worry about that.
It's the Rams.
We'll worry about
in LA.
Well, I mean, we owe the sheep herd plenty of a beatdown. So I can say this is a new administration going in to the $5 billion palace there in wherever the hell it is, Irvine, whatever it is.
Got to admit, it's very pretty.
Well, it is very pretty, and it's very eco-friendly. But we're simply just gonna we will walk in there
friendly to echoes
only when the Chargers play.
We will whip their ass when we walk in there this week. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We can talk about that later. But as far as things go, I don't know that we watched the same game. I kind of felt like there was never a moment the Cardinals were in this one. It felt like Joe Burrow got his mojo back, figured he either got his legs back or figured out a way to play with the legs he currently has. And, listen, thank you for Jamar Chase, because that saved my butt. Because here's what happened. I have Jonathan Taylor in fantasy football. I also had Mr. Moss. And so when they said, hey, he signed a new contract, I was like, ooh. And they said, yeah, it's a big old contract and he's happy. And here we go. he will start. He's going to play today. I was like, well, then I switched him. Moss with Jonathan Taylor. That cost me a lot of points because Moss had 40 something.
Yeah, he was the guy.
And Taylor had 4 or something.
They didn't really use Jonathan Taylor very much.
Mad about that. I should have known better because my wife says, aren't you the one who always says you don't like to play guys immediately back from injury?
Right.
And I said, well, this really isn't immediately back from injury as much as that he's back from that the pup period. And everybody said he looked great in practice and they paid him based off of what they saw of him in practice. They're like, okay, he looks good. We're good to go. Let's do this. And then they sort of just sprinkled him in to warm him up for the next game. So in the future, Jonathan Taylor is going to be a big deal for fantasy football, just not this weekend. And it about killed me. It about killed me. I would have like 180 points right now if I'd played him. Now it's not so much. So whatever, great. My wife doesn't understand how I feel about things. So when we watched the Cardinals game and we saw them lose and she got upset and she was like, it's very frustrating. And, I was poker face, thrilled on the inside that Jamar Chase had a record day because that's what saved my fantasy football right there. But and the outside stone face like, like this because I hadn't had dinner yet. And so, but when my team wins the game 23-16 over the Titans, but Anthony Richardson gets his right shoulder hurt. It's a busted up AC joint or something. So he might be out for a month. And I was just like, and she's like, well, no, don't worry. Because Gardner Minshew. And look, Jonathan Taylor is back. Yeah, it's going to be fine. You're going to win. I don't care about wins right now. I wasn't kidding when I said this entire season is about the education of our future quarterback. And I told her, I said, I don't want wins right now. I want Super Bowls later. And I want to make sure Anthony Richardson is the guy who can do it.
And unfortunately, I think the biggest lesson Anthony Richardson has to learn, and he gets hurt like every game, and he has not yet learned it. You just can't take some of these hits, man. And I don't care what you have to do. If you have to dive on the ground, head first, slide feet first, I don't care. You do what you have to do as a quarterback to protect yourself because you're the franchise. They need you out there. And that's like the most important thing that a running quarterback has to learn. And I think that Anthony Richardson is learning that lesson, quite frankly, slower than most running quarterbacks that I've seen, where just every week he feels like he has to be a warrior. He has to go, there's 3 guys there. He's going to run through 3 guys. Just why? You can't take those hits at the NFL level. You could at Florida. It's one thing to run through 3 Vanderbilt defensive players. You can't do this in the NFL. You're going to hurt yourself. And he does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's always a different injury too.
Yeah.
First time he was injured, it was his knee. The next time he got injured, it was concussion. Now he got injured, it's his shoulder. And listen, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe he's not going to be the guy. Maybe he's not going to be the guy who figures it out. I don't even know what to think. So I'm even though we won the game, I'm very discouraged. He needs to come back and get his act together and start to learn, or now we're going to be right alongside the Cardinals in the draft, hoping for Cade or somebody named Josh. There's always a Josh. Jesus Christ, there's too many Josh. By the way, realize we're getting sort of close to, Randy, is the time where there's a bunch of Joshes in a friggin' nursing home. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too many Chads. There's too many. Yeah. You can't have Chad in the damn nursing home. It's going to be weird.
It's not going to work. Yeah.
A bunch of tattoos and imagine how it's going to be with all these old ladies got tramp stamps. That's going to be
that, and these guys that have got tattoos from their shoulder down to their wrist. What do they call those, sleeves?
Yeah,
that's just going to be a big jumbled mess. But
they're all our age. The tattoos. This is actually true. They will slide down their arm right down to their hand. It just be a big old ink blot right here.
And there it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I don't care if we win now. I want Anthony Richardson to learn. That's all there is to it. Blissful Hayes says Anthony Richardson has brittle bones. Well, that's not true. Good thing Gardner Minshew saved the day. Yeah, listen, Gardner Minshew is probably the best backup quarterback in the land. He's not a starter either, but he'll get you there. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care unless somebody says to me that is our quarterback. I don't care. I want Anthony Richardson out there learning. So hopefully he comes back. They say it could be a month, probably maybe a couple of weeks. I don't know. George says the Colts have been very derelict in their duty. He said duty with Anthony Richardson. They need to be developing him this year on the bench, not starting him. No, that's not true. Well, maybe it is now because he keeps getting hurt. The idea of getting him out there is great. The fact that he won't slide and he tries to barrel through people, he does it once or twice and he gets like, but it's the NFL, man. It ain't college. You can't get away with that. You can't get away with that and be a quarterback. Anyways, let's see. Heavy Metal Maniac says, you guys don't really have to talk about the Cowboys game if you don't want to. Nothing to talk about there.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Heavy Metal Maniacs. I'm sorry. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Pringle says, is Anthony Richardson career be over before it starts? He says, doesn't matter. Gardner Minshew is a much better option. Disagree? And no, it's not over before it starts, but if he keeps this up, it might be.
Yeah, it's like the goal is to develop Anthony Richardson into the kind of quarterback who can take you to a Super Bowl. Like that's the goal. Gardner Minshew, as good as he is not taking you to a Super Bowl. That is not happening. So you have to figure out ways to get Anthony Richardson the experience. When he's out there, you do get the sense that it's not that he has no clue what he's doing. He just needs the experience. But he can't get the experience if he keeps getting hurt. And part of it too is, and they were saying this on the broadcast, when you look at other guys who run, they do a really good job of getting to the sideline immediately so that you always have the ability to step out of bounds and protect yourself. And Anthony Richardson just refuses to do that. And I think that's where, if I have a criticism of Shane Steichen, it's how have you not had this conversation with your quarterback yet already? That you got to get out of bounds.
Shane Steichen and Jonathan Gannon look pretty much the same.
Do they?
Take a look at
Jonathan Gannon has the craziest eyes I think I've ever seen.
I think Steichen might have like bigger lips or something.
You think Gannon's got crazier eyes than who was that Jets head coach?
I wasn't even talking about
Adam
that.
Gase. You know what?
Adam
That's true.
Gase.
Adam Gase.
Yeah.
Adam Gase is on top. But
Thank you.
Jonathan
Okay.
Gannon is in the top 3.
All
Has to
right.
be.
Well, I'll get some pictures of them side by side so you can see. But Steichen looks like a slightly homelier version of Gannon. I guess that's the best way I can put it right now. Now maybe I'm completely off, but I'll work that out later. Let me just say about the Colts, though. I am happy they paid Jonathan Taylor 3 years, $42 million extension, $26.5 million total guarantees. And I think that's a good move, especially if you're trying to pair him with your future quarterback, Peyton Manning, Marshall Faulk. Oh, why not Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson if he can not get so damn hurt. Anyway, very disturbed. Stupid Colts. All right, so we got a lot of games to get through, so let's take it from the top. We already talked about how sad it was. Was it my imagination, or did the Bears beat the Washington Commandos on Thursday?
Yes.
Did that happen?
It did happen. Why are you?
Well,
bringing it
because
back
I'm
up?
looking at my sheet because we go off the sheet and it was at the
Keon's not
top,
feeling
and I couldn't remember if that was a dream.
Keon's not feeling well.
We've never on this show brought up the Thursday game on a Monday review.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this to me?
I was trying to remember if it actually happened or if I had a
Of course it
dream. I
actually
drank a lot
happened.
yesterday.
I was
Well,
okay, but the game happened Thursday.
We're not going to talk about it.
We're already talking about it.
You're talking about it. Randy wasn't talking about it.
You asked if a thing that clearly happened, if it happened.
I'm not talking about. You're the only one talking about it right now, Keon.
But I'm not the only one talking about
I
it.
tried to
You
tell you,
asked if it was a dream. That's you talking
Yeah.
about it.
I was wondering if there was a dream, but I stopped talking about it once they stopped talking about it. No longer talking about it.
Okay.
All right. So Washington loses to Chicago. We got that. All right. So
So you're still talking about it. Why? You're hurting my
I'm
feelings here.
sort of summarizing that part.
You
of the
don't need to
conversation.
summarize that because we
It's all
don't.
good
we
broadcasting, there,
were-
Keon.
we were already there. We talked about it Friday. I thought I was gonna burst a blood vessel. Look, we just we can let it go. Okay?
What was worse though, that loss or the Texans loss?
That loss? The look, Texas lost to Oklahoma in Red River, but that was a damn good game, and both teams
Yeah.
were going back and forth.
Yeah.
Washington did not show up on a Thursday night football game.
I don't know why we're still talking about this.
Just
if you're done talking about it, Keon,
you asked me which one was worse. So I'm answering your question. That's
I understand that
about.
you want to talk about the things that hurt you deep inside.
He asked me which loss was worse.
Keon, show us on the puppet where he hurt you.
Do we have a puppet? We had a
place on the puppet that
Jay
says
Cutler.
Bears.
Actually, we have a Jay Cutler Bears puppet.
Yeah,
in our studio.
Yeah,
I wish Jay Cutler was out there. That'd have been nice.
Can we talk about the London game now? I'm trying to get started here before we go to break. So the damn London games, it just throws a monkey wrench into everything.
Isn't there another one this week?
Yes, there is. But there's no way that the Bills lose to the Jaguars at a regular game in the United States. There's no way.
Man. I don't know. I will give them jet lag. The Buffalo Bills did not look like the team that they usually are. They looked a little flat. The offense wasn't clicking. And meanwhile, Jacksonville, they had a spotted tee and some crumpets before the game, and they came out and played Jacksonville football.
Spotted tee, spotted dick.
No, a spot of tea, not spotted dick.
I never heard anybody say spot of tea. I've heard them say spotted dick, which is that dessert.
Oh, the Brits say that all the time. Can we go have a spot of tea?
Really?
Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah.
I always thought it was just spotted dick.
No. See, that's more of a dessert thing.
Yeah.
Over there. Bangers and then mash, and then you get the spotted dick.
Bang your mash, you get some spotted dick. Right?
Yeah, that's it.
No, we're on the same page.
But I do think that the Bills, obviously probably dealing with the jet lag, but the Jaguars haven't been a bad team. When the receivers decide to catch, they can win football games. And when, they don't, Christian Kirk sometimes turns back into the Christian Kirk we knew.
Mm-hmm.
But they were making all kinds of plays out there. And I think that's helping Trevor Lawrence, because I think Trevor Lawrence has been really good and he's had some throws that have been right in his receivers' hands, and they just don't catch it. And I don't know what he's supposed to do about that, but they did. They did Sunday.
Well, Travis Etienne and Calvin Ridley had themselves a nice day. I mean, Josh Allen did all right, too. He had 300 yards, and Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis both did pretty good. My wife had Gabe Davis, and she was a little nervous about it, but that turned out all right. But, outside of the splashes that they made, it was kind of quiet for the Bills. I don't know, just everything seemed a little bit just not quite right. And I feel like that's the British thing. And, the Jaguars had been there for over a week already, maybe 2 weeks. And so the Bills had to show up and get their sea legs under them, whatever you say when you're in England. And, of course, there are a lot of people who are angry about the turf that they're using over there at the Tottenham. I guess Taron Johnson, a defensive back for the Bills, his foot got stuck in that turf, and he hit his knee there, and he's just mad. He's like, listen, I told him, that I hate this. He says, I don't want to get on that cart. He says, I'll tell you what is the problem here. He says, that effing turf. The turf was terrible. They have to get rid of it. Report that. We can do grass. We should do grass. He says, we came all the way over to London to play on effing cement. He says, no, that was somebody else, an unnamed player. But so a lot of people are upset about the way the turf is in England. I have a question. If they play soccer on grass, why don't they do the football on that grass?
Well, they don't want the big brute football players destroying their beautiful soccer pitch.
You brute.
Yeah, that's it.
Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this in England? If they,
one word, money.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so Buffalo loses to the Jaguars. That's an upset. There was a lot of upsets this week if you think about it. So listen, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and we'll crank this thing up and start talking about more of these games. We're going to talk about every single game that happened yesterday between now and 4:30 when the Packers take on the Raiders for your Monday Night Football. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Kevin Harlan here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. From Las Vegas, it's week 5 of the NFL season, ending with the matchup of two proud franchises looking for a spark. It's the 1-3 Raiders hosting Jordan Love and the 2-2 Green Bay Packers. Join me and Mike Golick from Las Vegas for all the action of the Packers and the Raiders on Monday Night Football.
Right here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. Hey, in New York, right now I'm looking at all of the unders for Jets offensive numbers. Passing yards, touchdowns, receiving yards. I'm looking at all the unders in New York. So visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win, FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Arizona. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for usages 4 and up. Vapo Shower use for adults only.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Hi, this is Dr. Brad Schaefer. As a podiatrist, I can tell you no two people's feet are alike, which is why I recommend Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotic inserts. They're customized for your feet, so you get a unique solution your feet really need, not just a one-size-fits-all insole. They're clinically proven to provide pain relief for achy feet, knees, lower back, plantar fasciitis, and heels. Take the Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotics assessment in Walmart today, now in the foot care aisle.
Sun Devil football returns to Mountain America Stadium to take on the Washington State Cougars Saturday, October 28th for ASU's homecoming.
Gadaboo with the catch, has the first down, stays on his feet, and he's going to go.
Get your ASU Washington State tickets today by calling 480-727-0000.
Touchdown Devils!
Or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
The legend of Cameron Scadaboo continues to grow.
Marijuana may be legal in Arizona, but driving impaired is not.
As a police officer here in Arizona, I know DUIs apply to more than just alcohol. Anything that impairs driving makes you dangerous on the road. If you feel different, you drive different, and driving impaired can get you a DUI.
Get the facts at drivinghighaz.com and spread the word with the hashtag HighDUI. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
1580 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Your home for sports.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and we were going through all the games from yesterday between now and 4:30 when the Packers and the Raiders play Monday Night Football. I think we can do it. Bird says, happy Kyler show, guys. Bruno Baller says, hey, you guys know the first ever NFL game played outside of the U.S. and counted as a regular season game? It would be when the Cardinals beat the 49ers in Mexico City way back in 2005.
Really? That was the first?
I did not know that. I still think we shouldn't have done that. And I still think we shouldn't be doing that. Tired of these damn London games, even though we've got one on air next Sunday, Ravens at Titans there in England.
Now, Jeffrey, what do you think of these London games?
I love them. Big George says, "Hey, are you guys going to talk about how the Vikings game was rigged to allow Kansas City to win?" He says, "At least that's what Donnie's telling me on Twitter. That Kansas City is Roger Goodell's team." I don't think anything was rigged.
Oh, it was rigged?
Yeah, we'll get to that.
I mean, there were some bad calls, but
we're going in order off the pick sheet. So let's go to our first game off the pick sheet. The Houston Texans taking on the Atlanta Falcons. And to my surprise, and a lot of people's surprise, the Falcons actually pulled it off over C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud had been kind of killing it, and he got the Texans almost back to win, but it didn't happen. Old Desmond Ridder showed up and had himself a career day. Yeah. And that is the end of that. Bijan Robinson didn't seem like he really had a great game. Only 46 yards, 14 carries, 2 passes for 12 yards. He had a touchdown, but didn't seem like they really utilized old Bijan Robinson the way they should. What the hell's that all about? It's not like the Texans have this amazing defense, right?
It's a good defense. You know, D'Amico Ryans is the head coach, and he at least scheme wise, that defense is a tough one to play against. But I do think that the Falcons were just kind of behind a lot. And when that happens, Drake London ended up having a pretty solid game there, and probably one of the better games for Kyle Pitts. They were just doing it in the air more than they were on the ground. But Bijan was still picking up first downs when they really needed it. You need 6 yards for a first down, 7 yards. You could really just give it to that guy and he'll pick it up for you. I don't know how someone can be that big and be that shifty, but he's pretty fun to watch with that. And I thought the Texans played the better game overall, but they had so many drives end in 3 instead of 7 that they wound up not having a big enough lead to keep the Falcons away.
Well, C.J. Stroud has made history, and here's how. He has thrown 177 passes without an interception, most any quarterback has ever thrown to start a career. Yeah, that's pretty good.
And that's something about him that was true in college. He was always careful with the football. You could make the strong argument sometimes he was too careful with the football. He was too afraid to put it at risk, but he's such an accurate quarterback. He's one of the guys that's just incredibly polished. You just need him to get that experience.
Donnie is all caps in me right now on the text line, but I'm going to wait until we talk about the Vikings. That's going to be a little bit later, Donnie. So, but don't worry. I'll let you have your say when we get to that. The next game up on the sheet here, Lions just destroyed the Panthers 42-24. I don't know how much there is to say about that, but now the Panthers are 0-5. The Lions are 4-1, and they looked really good in that game. Outside of that, not a whole lot to say about it.
Well, I mean, didn't you expect the Lions to be a much better team this year? I did. I mean, I was thinking that the Lions are they're the favorites to win that division, in my opinion. I mean, who do they got going against them?
Somebody who you should have in your Super Bowl conversation right now. I mean, it's easy to say, okay, you got the 49ers over here, you got the Eagles over there, but you got to play all the games. And I think the Lions are going to be in that conversation. I really do.
Yeah, I think definitely in the playoff conversation. I don't know about Super Bowl right now, but again, it's like I've always said, once you get into the playoffs, I mean, everybody's got a great shot of getting hot and getting lucky. It takes a little bit of being, playing a great game and having some luck on your side to keep moving forward. So the Lions, though, I mean, it's not a surprise to me. And I'm sorry about Carolina, but this is really kind of a growing season for them with a new quarterback, a new head coach, a new offensive scheme. And I think maybe the next couple of seasons, you'll see Carolina respond positively and make a move forward.
I think that Bryce Young it's weird to say that he is actually growing as a quarterback. It's not enough for them to win games. They're just missing.
Not yet.
Yeah, they're just missing so many. There's so much talent in so many spots. They need a lot of help at wide receiver. They needed a lot of help at O-line. They need a lot of help at defense. And then, Bryce Young does make rookie mistakes, but I thought that was his best game that he's played so far.
Bruno Baller says you could see a scenario in next year's draft between the Cardinals and the Bears where you got 4 of the top 10 picks. Yes, you could. And we'll get around to talking about that later, but it's a good place to be, I think, for the Cardinals.
I saw a stat somewhere that said that the team in the league that started 0-4 has gotten the number 1 overall pick like 12 of the last 15 years. So the advantage is kind of going to the Bears with that.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. The Cardinals starting this week are going to run the table.
Okie anyway, so Lions beat the Panthers. Nothing to see here, really, is the way I look at that. But how about them Dolphins? Another team that has to be in the conversation with the 524 yards of actual offense. Everybody on the team can run faster than everybody else. I mean, they 5 fastest speeds by ball carrier so far this season came from the Dolphins. And the Dolphins just smacked the crap out of the Giants. And then, of course, old Daniel Jones, he got himself hurt. He's probably just tired of getting beat up. And he's like, ow, my neck. So who does their backup? Who went in for him when he went into the locker room?
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor still? Yeah. I didn't know he was still out there.
He's one of those guys that you just forget where he is in the league until he pops up again. But he's the backup quarterback there. I don't know if Daniel Jones has to fake anything. He's legitimately getting beaten up every week.
Oh, he's getting sacked left and right. He got sacked 10 times on Monday Night Football, and then he got sacked 6 times yesterday. But then he ended up going to the locker room after that. But the Dolphins are just they're a lot of fun to watch. That much offense is fun to watch. And, although there is some bad news that follows some of that, and it's very bad news for people in fantasy football. If you got Devon Achane, he's being evaluated for knee injury as we speak. I guess he had some soreness, and now they're taking a closer look at it. So not good, unless hopefully it's nothing serious. Yeah, they're evaluating it, but if that is something more serious, well, your host. Anyway, but listen, that team's got so much talent and so much speed on there. And I think Jeff Wilson's getting ready to come back. So, they can take it easy on Devon Achane if they need to. So anyways, the Dolphins 31-16 over the Giants. The Giants, how many wins do they have?
1.
They're going to be right there with the Cardinals trying to,
and it was the Cardinals. It was the Cardinals had them, against the ropes and just couldn't close them out because there's a very good argument that the Giants could have no wins right now outside of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they just paid this guy.
Yeah.
The Giants just paid their quarterback, and now their record puts them in a position to get a new quarterback if they want. Nobody's going to want Daniel Jones. They're just going to eat all that money, they can't keep going with this guy.
They kind of have to eat all the money.
Oh my God!
It's even if they try to go in another direction. If they trade him, it's going to be, against the dead cap, or they release him. I don't know if they're going to do that though, because you already went to the owner. You already went to the Maras and said, hey, this is our guy, write the check. And now to have to back out of that and say, hey, we can't fix Daniel Jones. We can't do anything. Well, you shouldn't have told him to write the check then, because there was a window where you could have made that evaluation before you asked him to pay him.
Nobody can understand why they wrote the check. Nobody gets this. Nobody understands this.
He had one good year last year. And if you just look at his whole history as a quarterback, that's the outlier year. That's not the consistent success you want to see. And so, Daniel Jones is exactly what we thought he was.
Jiminy Christmas. I told you, Donnie, we'll get around to talking about he's going on. He's laying it down. And I know about that too. We'll talk about it. Let's see. Blissful Hayes says, too bad Captain Brahman doesn't grow as a quarterback. I don't think CJ Stroud's going to grow either. Pringle says, Keon, would you agree that yesterday's Suns game was a must win?
Well, it was preseason, so no.
I feel like that was their sarcasm.
Yeah, it's preseason basketball. I actually got a little mad because I was looking at the scores and stuff, and I saw that there was a betting line on that game. And I was just
Ugh.
like, who is the degenerate betting on preseason basketball that
Or
is actually
preseason
worse
anything.
than football?
Well, yeah, because you got mostly in any preseason basketball game, it's the bench playing the bench. It's bench versus bench. That's all it ever is. There's no point to it.
If you're betting Suns Pistons in the preseason, you have bigger problems than the spread.
All right, so let's see here. How are we on our list? Hey, we're about halfway through. I think we can get all the games talked about before we step away from Monday Night Football. That works. George, he's upset. Let me guess, you must have him fantasy football. He's like, a Kane hurt his knee. There goes my fantasy team. You know what makes it worse is I had a Kane. He didn't really perform the first couple of weeks, so I dropped him. And the next week he goes off and somebody else has him. I'm just like, well, now I don't feel so bad, but I feel bad for him. So, all right, guys, we're going to take a moment and we'll be back with the next half hour talking about all the NFL games. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Sun Devil football returns to Mountain America Stadium to take on the Washington State Cougars Saturday, October 28th for ASU's homecoming.
Gadaboo with the catch, has the first down, stays on his feet, and he's going to go.
Get your ASU Washington State tickets today by calling 480-727-0000.
Touchdown Devils!
Or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
The legend of Cameron Scattaboo continues to grow.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart Plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
It's time for the fall haul at Northern Tool and Equipment. Get your hands on tough tools at prices that are tough to ignore. Got plans? Cancel them. Trucks in the shop? Borrow someone else's. Don't like saving money? Right. So head to the fall haul at Northern Tool. Stock up at the season's biggest event and get huge savings on brands like Milwaukee, Honda, and Ingersoll Rand. Shop at northerntool.com. We're made for this.
The NASCAR season will come to an end in Phoenix, but the championship weekend will last forever. 4 championship races in 3 days, all set against the stunning backdrop of the desert mountains. A Friday doubleheader under the lights, the Xfinity Championship on Saturday, and a Cup Series champion crowned on Sunday. It's a weekend you'll wish would never end. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, November 3rd through the 5th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
Screen time's over.
Be home by 11?
Put your phone down while we're eating.
When parents set boundaries, keep track of where their kids go, and talk to them about the dangers of underage drinking and drugs. They keep their kids safe. Visit talknowaz.com. Be the influence. Talk early. Talk often. Talk now.
Thanks. Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. And your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. We have 30 minutes before the start of Monday Night Football broadcast from Westwood One. The game starts around 5-ish. Hey, listen, we've made good progress, so at least we don't have to overdo it and be too speedy as we talk about all the rest of the games on our list that needs to be talked about from yesterday. So here's the question. Do I do Donnie a solid? Do I skip ahead in my list here and talk about the Vikings defeat by the Kansas City Chiefs? Do I do that?
How many games away is it?
Oh, it's a bunch. It's one of the last games that we were going to talk about.
Yeah, I think you should. I mean, he's
right.
got good news today. He's probably all amped up. Why not?
Okay. Well, what good news?
Well, he and his wife are having
son.
a baby boy.
You and
son
I
on the
have
way.
very different definitions of good news.
Ah.
Oh, he has no idea how little sleep he's about to get. Anyway, so the good news is Kansas City Chiefs beat the Vikings. I mean, bad news is I just don't care, Donnie. All right, let's go. Let's go to Donnie. He's I got to scroll here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on here. He says NFL officiating coddles the Kansas City Chiefs like no other team, and the Vikings season is up in flames. That is not why your team lost. True or false? It's a penalty to take off your helmet after a play, right? Yeah. What's your point? Picking up a flag after a blatant DPI, straight BS, right there. All right, so we all know what you're talking about, Donnie. We all know what you're talking about. But I remember seeing your coach losing his mind about somebody's helmet being off. What was the context of that? Because I watched good football. I didn't watch your game.
Oh man. I don't remember which player it was, but he took his helmet off to talk to the refs, and then instead of throwing the flag, the refs were just like, put your helmet
back on. Yeah.
And so people are mad that the ref issued a warning instead of it going immediately to the flag.
Can you show me another circumstance, another instance where a player takes off his helmet and they like, put your helmet back on, and he puts his helmet back on? Can you show me that has happened any other time, or is it always a flag? Or did the guy walk off and they didn't throw the flag? And everybody's like, ooh, he's lucky they didn't throw the flag.
My understanding is that it's up to the refs, but
well, I know, but you have to show me some examples of that happening in the past, or else Donnie might have a damn good point. So you got to show me that this is not an uncommon thing for a ref to be like, come on, man, put on your helmet, instead of giving him a piece of laundry there. So we'll somebody can tell me about that, or we'll think about that. But outside of that, I don't know that you can blame the refs for your loss.
Well,
there's a close game.
There was blatant PI, but I think it was. I think the reason they picked it up because they decided the ball wasn't catchable. But But the Chiefs defensive back was holding the Vikings receiver. He was holding him. He was.
Did they change the call to holding?
No, they didn't change it to anything.
Well, they should have called him for holding.
And the video showed he was holding him. He had both hands and he was gripping his jersey and he was driving him whatever direction he wanted to go. And the guy couldn't get away from him to get the ball. So I think it was PI, and that's what a lot of people are agreeing with. And maybe that's if that's the play Donnie's talking about, I would agree with him there. As far as the helmet coming off, I mean, yeah, there's a rule, I guess, in the rule book that says, but I think it's up to the referee or the official to throw the flag, and they didn't choose to throw the flag. So I don't know that that's coddling. I mean, we're talking about professional football here.
I think usually when the helmet comes off, it's when somebody's angry, right? And so then they'll throw a flag on him. Was this guy acting angry when he took his helmet off?
He wasn't angry, but he was arguing a call, and he took his helmet off, and he was talking to the referees, and they said, "Put your helmet back on," and he put it right back on. So,
well, they did him a solid, but that could have gone either way.
Yeah.
So you probably have to let go of the whole helmet thing, Donnie. But I think you might have some agreement from us on the DPI. Don't know if that's enough to make the case that the referees have been told by Roger Goodell to make sure the Chiefs win at all costs. But yeah, the Chiefs aren't that great this year. They're not at Chiefs level. this year.
But I remember last year early in the season, the Chiefs kind of got out to a slow start, and they looked like this version of the Chiefs. And then by the time the season kind of ended, they put everything together. I think that a lot of teams they start off hot, and then teams figure them out and they come back to earth. I think the Chiefs are the opposite. I feel like they start off slow and then figure things out over the course of the season. Also, I was just doing some Googling, and it seems like it's up to the refs. People have noted that a lot of refs don't just go straight to the flag. There was one situation with DJ Moore a couple of years ago where he took his helmet off, and the league fined him later, but he was not. There was no flag thrown.
So that's just discretionary. And I understand, Donnie, why you are saying that. But can we just be honest? The Vikings are bad. The Vikings are bad this year.
Well, I mean, they keep putting up, enormous numbers. They just can't get the damn ball in the end zone. I mean, and now you get Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
You don't know if he's going to come back. He hasn't missed a game yet in his career.
Well,
you don't know if he's going to make it back for the next game.
That hamstring injury might keep him out, and it was also probably more of a factor at the end of the game than the referees. But you start to wonder, though. Donnie, how about this? We'll keep an eye on it. Not saying we agree that the Kansas City Chiefs are getting coddled by the NFL because of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift and yada, yada, yada. Can't say I completely agree, but we'll keep an eye on it because, some of this stuff is a little bit not quite right.
And Kelce might be hurt as well.
Yeah, we saw that. He came back, but
he tweaked that ankle.
Yeah, and they play Thursday, so he doesn't have the full week to recover.
Chiefs without Kelce are the Titans. I don't know. Just threw that out there. So, we'll keep an eye on it for you, Donnie. But let's be honest, the Vikings stink. And it doesn't matter if the league is coddling the Chiefs or not.
I don't know that the Vikings stink.
They are 1-4, Randy.
Yeah, but I think all of their games have been close games. It could have gone either way. If the Vikings could have, got it in the end zone, they could easily be 4-1 or 5-0.
The other thing about this game, congratulations to Patrick Mahomes. He has become the youngest quarterback to beat all other teams, all 31 teams. He has a win against every single team in the NFL except for the Chiefs. He'll have to wait on that until he's older and they trade him away because of whatever.
When I hear you say this stuff about Patrick Mahomes, I get more and more angry at Steve Keim.
Dude, nobody knew. Nobody knew. I'm not going to stick up for Steve Keim, but nobody really.
Yeah,
knew.
I mean,
I get more and more angry.
Was he 10th in that draft? Yeah, I mean,
we had him and we could have taken him.
You know who else you could have had? Dak Prescott. You could have had Dak Prescott. And he's played pretty good, but he ain't as good as anybody thought he'd be or as good as they need him to be.
I don't want Dak Prescott. I wanted Patrick Mahomes.
The point is, you can't look back at a draft in hindsight. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. Now he's Mr. Robot. Jiminy. He just can't miss. I think he had one bad pass in the entirety of that game last night against the Cowboys. So, it is what it is, man. Yes, Steve Keim liked to drink quite a bit, but no, can't really say for sure you would have done different. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk now about the Saints. Holy crap, they beat the Patriots bad, 34-0. What an ass kicking! Just absolutely humiliating Bill Belichick. Now, Bill Belichick is now 1-4 with his team. Mac Jones got benched again. Bailey Zappi came in again, and Bill Belichick continues to say Mac Jones is still the starter. It's craziness. It's crazy. How much longer are they going to let this happen? I mean, when do you fire a legend? You have to wait till the offseason, right?
I think you have to wait till the offseason, but they can't bring him back next year. He's starting to get to the point where it's some of the worst losses of his career that are happening. Last week, the 38-3 loss to Dallas was the worst loss of his career. And he followed it up with the next worst loss of his career this week. I mean, that you just,
he's been outscored 72-3 in 2 weeks. And here's the line from him. I'm going to start over. What?
Start over.
Gonna start over. There. What does that mean? Just what I said. Start over. And he's like, I've done it before. Okay. Well, what does that mean? Starting over. Starting over with what? You can't. We're not redoing the draft, Bill. Starting over as he's going to retire.
Well, maybe it's just reassessing the team as a whole, reassessing the offensive game plan, the defensive scheme,
reassessing whether his mulleted kid was ever a good idea on this team.
Well, that could very well be true. You don't know. If he's saying start over, that for me, that means going back to the beginning of the season and assessing all the positions and all the people, all the personnel, all the game plans, the offensive schemes, the defensive schemes, just starting from scratch.
Turd Ferguson, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that, the strength of this team has never been the offense, at least not in the Mac Jones era of this team. And the defense is banged up a lot. So that's not helping him. I'm not saying that that's the reason they're losing, because they can't put any points on the board. But the fact that their defense can't stop anybody is only adding to the fact that their offense can't put points anywhere.
Yes. And you can't totally blame Mac Jones for yesterday's loss. I mean, he put the ball on guys right on their hands and they still didn't catch the damn ball. I mean, I saw some of the highlights and in the highlights that I saw, I mean, there was one ball went right through the receiver's hands. Another one hit him right in the hands and he couldn't catch it. There was another time where it wasn't his fault. It dinked out of a guy's hands and they picked it off. I mean, I don't know what the kid can do. He can't throw it and catch it. You know what I mean?
The real question I have is, when they fire Bill Belichick, will someone else hire him again?
You'd have to imagine, yes.
Because you'd be tempted, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
You'd like some young team got a bunch of think, okay, we're going to give him a new canvas to paint on. And I would not hire him again. He's like 80 years old. Let him go retire already. Let him go enjoy his boat.
Get on his boat and just drift away.
I wouldn't, but I agree with you. Someone's going to try.
Put the old man on the slab of ice and push. That's what you do. That's what you do.
Wow. Jeez.
Turd Ferguson says, is this the time of year where half the league usually gives up on fantasy teams? He says, I'm asking for a friend. I'm hoping nobody gives up on their fantasy team. I got some emails. I got some emails telling me about players who have abandoned their teams and they've got hurt people starting. It's really annoying and sucks for other people, and people like just, I can't win anyways, and they stomp off, take their toys and go home. That's the worst kind of fantasy football player. Hate that. The Berg says, go Patriots. Sorry, Berg. He says, from 1980 to 2000, the Patriots were pretty much hot garbage, but they were my hot garbage.
Yeah.
2001 to 2020, 6 titles. Now we might be back to that 80s team again.
Yeah. Sorry, Berg.
Hey, man, you had 20 years of dominating. That's not bad.
Yeah.
You had a nice chunk. I bet Keon wishes he had that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Hell, we all wish we had that chunk. Lacrosse guy says the Hood will probably go coach lacrosse. He is a huge lacrosse guy. Yes, lacrosse guy. And we understand you are as well.
Yeah.
Big George, fire Bill Belichick. He stinks.
Wow.
Blissful Hayes says the moral of the story is the NFL's rigged. No, it's not. It's not Blissful Hayes. He says, fantasy football is legalized gambling. Can be.
It can be, but you don't have to have money on anything.
Pinocchio says, afternoon, bros. Well, my Patriots ain't getting better. Lost by 35 last week, 34 yesterday. At this rate, 3 years, we'll tie someone. Beer me, Randy. Go Diamondbacks.
Wow.
Sorry, Pinocchio. Sorry, Berg. All right, let's go to the next game up. Let's see. The Steelers won a game. Beat the Ravens.
Game was awful.
What the hell happened with old Lamar Jackson there?
Yeah, no kidding.
The Ravens got stuck in neutral. Like they started off looking pretty good
at the beginning. Yeah.
And then they just couldn't move the football. TJ Watt was in the backfield all the time. didn't seem like Lamar was comfortable in the pocket throwing.
Yeah, and he was trying to push it, into windows that weren't there. I mean, he threw a couple of really bad balls that were picked off. Yeah.
Sorry if you had Lamar Jackson in fantasy football, but
and then Kenny Pickett on one leg, kind of gutting out the win at the end.
Yeah. Who does this say more about, the Steelers or the Ravens?
Ravens.
You know what I'm saying? Is it about how bad the Ravens got or about how good the Steelers got?
Ravens are not a legitimate 3-1 team, in my opinion, so far this season.
Well, now they're 3-2.
They don't look that good. And Pittsburgh is not a good team. Yeah, they have some solid defense, but Kenny Pickett, really? And the Ravens defense couldn't stop Kenny Pickett?
Well, they did for the most part. I mean, that final drive is going to make the Kenny Pickett stat line look a whole lot better than it was. It wasn't like Kenny Pickett was going off. The score of this game was like 10-3 for most of the game. But it just seems like Baltimore in this new offense, they have weeks where they look comfortable in it and they're pushing the ball down the field and they're making big plays. And then they have other weeks where it just looks like nobody's on the same page and everybody doesn't understand their responsibilities. And it's just a bizarre thing to watch.
Yeah. And it feels to me that Lamar Jackson is in a box. Instead of being Lamar Jackson and doing Lamar Jackson things, he's in a box. It's almost like there were a handful of times he could have run with the football and gained positive yards. And he chose to try to stay in the pocket and make force a pass in that he did not have to make. That one pass to Odell Beckham Jr., I mean, it was horribly underthrown. That's what I mean. He could have run with the football on that play and picked up a first down.
Gamecock says Ravens receivers dropped 3 touchdowns. Wow. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we are going to pick it up right where we left off and finish talking about all the NFL games that happened yesterday. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Advertising here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. Kevin Harlan and Mike Golick will call the action when the Raiders host the Packers. Green Bay's looking to bounce back from last week's loss, while Vegas hopes the return of Jimmy Garoppolo under center will help them break a 3-game losing streak. Join us on air and on the free live stream sponsored by AutoZone on Monday Night Football.
Right here on 1580 The Fanatic.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help, so you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Greg Clark Automotive Specialist, located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles for 44 years. And we're offering our fall inspection on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Also, our brake service inspection, recommended every year to prevent repairs and ensure top performance. For guaranteed family touch service, contact us at 602-246-2881. Highly rated by Google. Online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention the Fanatic to get 10% off.
Want to downsize your home but think you've missed the opportunity? Let A2 Luxury Real Estate show you how to downsize and win. If you have owned your home for over 5 years, we have great news for you. Get the true value of your home and save up to $10,000. Call A2 Luxury Real Estate at 602-888-1433 or go to a2luxre.com. Realty One Group, 602-888-1433 or go to a2luxre.com.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local.
Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. We've got under 10 minutes now to finish talking about all the football games that happened on Sunday. And all right, let's talk about the Eagles. Let's talk about the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles beating up on the Los Angeles Rams 23-14. Cooper Kupp was back, but yet Tutu got himself a touchdown. It wasn't all the Puka Nacua show. I was very happy about that because I rolled the dice. I had like one of those, ever having them little feelings? I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play Tutu Atwell. I'm going to go ahead and do it because my other choices, they didn't look much better. And I thought maybe Cooper Kupp will be so busy and Puka Nacua will be so busy. And then all of a sudden there's Tutu Atwell, touchdown. And guess what happened? Exactly that.
Sounds like you made the right call there, friend of mine.
No, I didn't. He only got 8.9 points. Like one of my other players might have been better there, but still, it wasn't the worst thing. It was only a difference of a couple of points between what somebody else would have done in my flex. It wasn't great, but I think that's the last time I get to play him. I feel like that's going to be the end for Tutu Atwell, unless Cooper Kupp re-hurts himself or Puka Nacua gets hurt himself. But Eagles were able to make it happen 5-0. 5-0 in their record, 23-14, beating the Rams. Wasn't pretty, but they got it done.
Yeah, I think the defense won them for the Eagles. I think the defense stepping up and locking down that potent Los Angeles Rams offense, that was huge. And then Jalen Hurts picked his spots and did what he does. Yeah,
he looked pretty. He had an interception.
Wasn't great.
Generally, he was the leading rusher.
Yeah, 303 yards passing, 72 yards rushing on 15 carries and a touchdown. So.
Yeah. But the defense I think the defense is one that won the game for the Eagles last week. I don't know, Keon, maybe you saw something different.
I agree with that. And I think it was another one of those games where you talk about the Ravens getting stuck in neutral. It happened to the Rams a little bit. It looked like they were going to have a big day. You know, Cooper Kupp was getting crazy good yardage. And Nacua got into the end zone as well. But it just once the Eagles figured them out defensively, they couldn't get going ever again, moved the ball a lot, but couldn't get into the end zone.
I wonder if having Cooper Kupp might have messed up the rhythms of Matt Stafford and his offense. You know, they've been going along just fine without him. They had their stuff kind of figured out. Now they've got Cooper Kupp in there doing what Puka had been doing, you know, so some of that stuff might not have felt very familiar. People had to be in different spots and different places. So I wonder if that kind of threw them off rhythm a little bit.
I don't know, because they started off pretty hot. It looked like, wow, same old Rams, same old Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford, but it didn't take away from Nacua. I had Cooper Kupp in fantasy, and I was playing somebody that had Nacua, and they both got 20 points.
Yeah.
You know, it seemed like, okay, this is the team that we've been looking at the whole time. They just have Cooper Kupp now. But you got to give the defense credit for the Eagles, yeah.
Yeah, the defense for the Eagles was not able to stop a fan from getting in the locker room, though. I guess somehow this Eagle fan came in there and was walked up to a player and hey, how you doing? They're like, what? Who the hell are you? And so he was immediately taken out of the building. And I guess AJ Brown was like, you know, what's going on, man? Why are you talking to me? Who are you again? And so he's like, I feared for my life. He was kidding. But yeah, so great security there at SoFi Stadium. So, but at least it was an Eagles fan and not something else. You know, if somebody broke into the locker room in Philadelphia,
you'd never hear from them again.
Yeah, there'd be no survivors. It'd be hugely bad. Let's talk about the Jets. Okay. Sean Payton. I feel like he may not make it another season. I feel like they may end up firing that guy.
I don't know. I think he will. Yeah.
He shows up. He's like, what a crap show this is. This is the worst run team. Oh, the coach of this team is horrible. I don't know. If you go back, Keon, go back and look at the first 5 weeks. Who has a better record, Nathaniel Hackett or Sean Payton? I guess I should have thought about this earlier, but he talked so much crap And then he went in there and he was already going into the game 1-3, and he walked away from the game 1-4. That's humiliating. And of course, Nathaniel Hackett's eating this up. The Jets are just eating it up. Breece Hall's like, yeah, better coach, better team won. There you go. And, so I guess, all the crap Sean Payton was talking, he could not deliver. And it's embarrassing. So
through 5 weeks, Hackett had the better record. He won 2 games in week 2 and 3.
Ooh.
Before, losing a bunch of games after that, just a whole lot of games after that. But yeah.
And I found it was funny that Salah after the game, when they went out to shake hands with Peyton, he just said to Peyton, all he said to him, it wasn't good game or, nice job or anything. It was stay humble.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, stay humble. That's what he said to Sean Payton.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. And also you saw how fast Sean Payton turned around after the handshake. He's like, I don't want to see Hackett. He just
nope.
He did afterwards say, I got to do a better job. It all starts with me. It's my fault. Blah, blah, blah. He never mentioned Nathaniel Hackett. I mean, that would have been cool if he'd at least said, hey, and Nathaniel Hackett, all right, I apologize, whatever. But of course he won't do that. So Russell Wilson looked horrible. You had Sean Payton kind of yelling at him there towards the end.
My question is Russell Wilson done in Denver?
Yes,
he has to be. I mean, he's not a good fit for that offense at all. I mean, it's just what Sean Payton wants Russell Wilson to do, and Russell Wilson scrambling around back there trying to extend plays. That is the opposite of what Sean Payton wants him to do.
So is he done? Is he going to get replaced, or are they going to get rid of him after the end of the season?
Either or. Yeah, he's going to go bye-bye. I think he's done in the league. I don't think anybody wants Russell Wilson now.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's a long season still yet ahead, but I would doubt we're going to see much more of Russell Wilson anywhere anytime soon. Let's see. Beer Bob says, sorry to all the Cardinal fans out there. And he says, but I'm glad Jamar Chase finally woke up and put together a great game. Helped my fantasy team. Mine too, Beer Bob.
Yeah, look, Jamar Chase said, look, I'm always open. He said that last week.
No, he didn't. He said, I'm always effing open.
Yeah, well.
And he was effing right.
Yeah, he was. I mean, 19 targets, and he made use of all of them.
Blissful Hayes has a reality check for all the Cowboy fans out there. He says, Dak Prescott has a $60 million cap hit in 2024. Yeah. Holy crap.
Also, remember when he said he wasn't going to throw 10 interceptions this year?
Yeah.
He got 5.
Yeah. So now that makes it 6, or is it 5 so far? He had 4 last night, and then so he has a total of 5, or is he at 5 or 6?
He's got a total of 5.
Well, you're halfway there,
yeah.
And we are not even halfway through the season, Dak. Yeah. I like him, though. I don't want to hate on him.
I mean, I do. I respect Dak. I just, the thing is, he does put the football in harm's way, and he's more of a game manager kind of quarterback, which is fine, but then that means you have to take care of the football.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can like somebody, but also say, yeah, they're not very good.
He's just overpaid. He's not a bad guy or a bad player.
No. Listen, George Kittle finally had himself a day with 3 touchdown catches. Not a whole lot of yards, but a lot of touchdown catches. Brock Purdy looked like a robot. He was very good out there, and I mean, what happened to that Dallas defense? They just exposed for not being as good as you need to be to take out the offense of the 49ers.
I don't think there's any defense good enough to stop them.
So, yeah, to be honest, that was kind of fun to watch. I actually, at halftime, I was like, oh, let's see what else is on TV here. And they came back later, 42-10. Holy crap. So, anyway, we got one more game left in this week. Packers, Raiders. Broadcast is up next. See you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender, 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brian Musburger. Don't miss Betting Across America, Saturdays at 11.